What's up, guys? It is Christmas, and we are recording an episode.
Yay, Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas, everybody.
All right, so I got you. This is the premise, right?
Okay.
Have you ever just suddenly realized that some of your family members are total dicks?
Hmm. I mean,
Okay, so hear
everybody
me,
is a
hear me.
dick sometime, I guess. Maybe.
Right, but this
What do
is
you got?
this is how it happened, right?
Uh huh.
So it's Christmas time, so my family always South American family always we always get together. But when we did in Peru, it's like a big family, right? So
Okay.
when you're young, you kind of just like you just want to watch TV or just not be with everyone, right? So you just
Hmm.
disappear. But eventually, I guess I grew older, 15, 16. You just start sitting around and listening to stuff, hear stories, by just talking shit to each other, like having a laugh. So it's like, oh, okay, that story is kind of funny, right?
Uh huh.
And then, flash forward to now. I'm 25 years old. I'm like, I'm going to the, or my mom finds some spaghetti in the house, in the pantry.
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, can you find the expiration date on this?" And I was like, "Okay." Find it and tell her. She's like, "Oh my, it's expired." Yeah,
Yeah.
but what could I mean? What's the worst that could happen with expired pasta? And she's like, "Oh, there's some bugs that grow on it." I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, okay." And she tells me this story that when we used to live in this one specific rural area in Peru,
Uh
there's
huh.
there used to be like no electricity periods. Like there would be like a blackout at random times. So one time she's having family and friends over. It's like a blackout, and she made pasta. Turns out that the pasta was expired and it had those little bugs on it.
Uh huh.
So when she served it, people were like, "Oh, I didn't know you put like crunchy bits on it."
Oh
And
God.
and I told her, "Oh my god!" And then what did you do? And she said, "Well, I didn't say anything. Otherwise, we would have no." I'm like, "What the fuck?" You just let everyone just eat the thing that was like disgusting, the bugs or whatever the fuck is it. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Get
That is crazy.
get imagine like say, I mean, in this case, it sounds like she knew there were bugs, right? But can you imagine you get like halfway through the meal and then you discover it? You're trying to think of like, okay, so what can I tell people such that I can take everyone's spaghetti away, but not let on that there's something wrong with it? You'd be
Yeah, but
like,
see,
oh,
that's what you would have done.
let me take your plate to the kitchen to just, see, that's the problem. I can't think of why.
See, that's the thing. So I told her like, it's like, so what did you do? Expecting her to say, oh, okay. As soon as she mentioned that, it's like, okay, if someone says, oh, it's crunchy, and you'd be like, well, I didn't put crunchy on it, so there's
Yeah.
something wrong there. No. So I say, okay, what did you do? She says nothing because if she removed the plates, they would have had nothing to eat. So she
Hmm.
let them eat pasta on purpose, knowingly had some weird shit on it. Just because if she would have removed it, they would have had nothing to eat.
Yeah,
That's
that's.
wrong, dude. That's messed up. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm
that
just
so
throwing
then
this out here. Like, if we're ever eating together, like, I would rather eat nothing than bugs. So,
yeah, exactly right. That's what I'm saying. I just don't understand why she would do something like that. I'm like, dude,
just,
why would
just
you do that?
we'll just
It's
clear the
crazy.
air. Now you know my position.
I mean,
If we're ever in this
I'm with you
situation.
on that. I just can't understand. It's just like all this time I've been growing up with this story.
Uh,
Everybody laughs. Okay, I guess it's funny, so I'm laughing, right? Now I'm
yeah.
25. She gives me this. I'm like, wait a second, that's wrong. That's bad. So then
Oh
it's like,
God.
then I'm thinking, oh god, what other stories could it possibly be?
Uh.
I thought were funny back then, but really are like terrible. And
Hmm.
then I flash back in my mind a couple weeks back when my mom is traveling to Peru. So I leave her at the airport, right? I'm waiting with her inside the airport for the guys to come pick her up because she uses a wheelchair at the airport.
Uh.
And then it's like they're like, she's like, oh yeah, I don't know, should I eat in the plane?
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, are you hungry? Or you can eat now instead. It's like, no, I'd rather eat in the plane, but I'm kind of scared. I'm like, why would you be scared? So well, I don't want anyone that's like friends with the person that has to carry, like to take me, to be handling my food. And I'm like, people don't do stuff to your food. That's like, people are usually, they respect your food, not gonna do anything with it. And she's like,
Uh-huh.
no, I don't trust them. I'm like, well,
Mm.
I'm like, trust me, they don't mess with your food. She's like, no, trust me. Your aunt, she was an air hostess and she spat on people's food. I'm like, hold on, who is this? I need a name. She's like, no, no, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm like, I need to know who this person is, so I never give them anything or talk to them ever again. Because
Yeah.
I can't believe that. She's like, no, 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 forget it, forget it, forget it. I'm like, no, you have to tell me. And then she just didn't tell me. I'm like,
Uh.
now I know that there's like, family members that are just total dicks. I had
Hmm.
no idea. They were, I've never thought about them in that way, but man, I can't believe that. So all out of nowhere, family people that I thought were 100% reputable and they've always done good things to me,
Uh.
never done anything bad in my eyes. Now suddenly I'm like, how did this happen? So I just don't get it, man. Have you ever like experienced anything or any stories that you thought were like weird about your other family member?
I can't think of anything really like potent like that about like family members, but I've definitely met people and then found out later that there was something like bad about them. Like I met this one guy. I mean I don't like hang out with him anymore, but I met him for this thing and he seemed perfectly normal. And then like it just as I mean I saw him for like a group thing where I'd see him every couple of months. And at first he was perfectly normal. He seemed friendly. He's always nice to me. And then slowly his like racism would just come out, and it was like it was like two levels. Like not only was it racist, but it was also incorrect. Like he was talking about this Chinese made stuff and saying how it was, made by inferior people, but he used the slang term nips. He was like, those little nips when they assemble this, but I'm pretty sure that's a
What?
slang term for Japanese people. It's not for Chinese people. So like not only was he
Oh,
racist, but he was like also wrong. Like
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like and I couldn't and in that case, I mean it's like what are you supposed to do? Like I'm
Do
not
you
gonna
correct them on their racism or on their wrongness?
do I correct him? Like which of these things? And in the end, I didn't correct him on either. I just sort of silently formed my own opinion that this
Yeah.
guy. They always have that figure of speech. Like if someone is nice to you but rude to the waitress, then they're not actually your friend. And I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
sort of,
yeah.
I followed the
We
same
get
thing.
separate
It's like
checks.
he's nice to me, but he's racist to other people, and therefore, he's really not my friend because
Yeah.
like I don't want to be friends with someone who's racist, and
Yeah.
it's also hypocritical because if I was born in another country, he would hate me for no reason. So,
Yeah.
what does that say? But yeah, that's it.
It's
That's I mean,
just,
things like that they sort of creep out.
yeah. The only thing I've ever experienced that's close to like racism is like I'd be like at my grandma's house
Mm-hmm.
and there's only one TV. It's in my grandma's room. We're visiting and there's no party or anything. She's just in her room. So
Yeah.
we'll be talking and then she'll be watching something on TV. Then a person, an Asian person shows up on the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the character's name, let's say, is like Huang, right? Hua, and she's like, oh, I wonder if that name is Chinese.
Uh.
What? I mean, why would that even? First of all, why would that even matter, right? Who cares if he's Chinese or not, right?
uh.
And she's like, then stuff keeps happening on the TV show, and she's like, oh, that is so classic Chinese. I'm like, we don't know that this person is Chinese in the first place, right?
Yeah.
She's like, oh. and something else, it keeps happening over and over. And she's like, "Oh yeah, of course, Huang would do that." What do you mean? And then she knows I like Japanese stuff. So she'll be asking me like, "Oh yeah, so is that like Japanese or what?"
uh,
What do you mean? Like he hasn't done it, or like he's eating rice and he's like, "Oh, yeah, do they eat rice in Japan too?" I'm like, "Sure." Like, why they have to bring that stuff up? It's like
yeah.
it's not that she would hate, but why is it always like the need to profile people and put them in like a specific bucket? It's like,
Mm,
gives a fuck where is he from or what he's doing? Like, those kind of thoughts is like my mind is set up so that I don't care about that. It's like
yeah.
I don't have to find out what origins that person has or that character that he's portraying has or anything like that. It just doesn't even cross my mind. It's like when my family goes to like a restaurant. I mentioned this because tomorrow we're going to a restaurant for Christmas, right? We're celebrating Christmas tomorrow. So
Mm.
we go into a restaurant, right? So okay, we go inside. It's Christmas, so hey, guess what? We're probably gonna have to wait on the door. No big deal, right? We have to wait. Say it's 10 minutes. We have to
Yeah.
wait 10 minutes. Okay, I know that it's Christmas time, so I know it may or may not be crowded. Some people may want to celebrate at home, means it might not be crowded. But some people may want to go outside, which means it will be crowded. So I set up my expectations. And we get to the place. Suddenly, the lady says, "You know what? It's going to be a 20-minute wait." I said, "Okay." No. We sit down. It's been 2 minutes. I'm like, oh my god, we have to wait for so long. I'm like, she already told you it's going to be 20 minutes. Nothing's going to change. Like,
yeah.
you complaining about it doesn't change anything other than you make the person that has nothing to do with the problem uncomfortable. So the person that's going to be like, going to complain to you, you're like, hey, we've been waiting for 15 minutes. It's like nobody gives a shit. They said 20 minutes, wait 20 minutes. If it takes them 25, you just wait 25 minutes longer. Like, it doesn't,
Right.
why'd you have to be, are we in a hurry? No. Do we have to be somewhere in 5 minutes? No. Then the waitress says, okay, please follow me to your seat. On the way to the table, my entire family has already scoped out every single person sitting in the restaurant that is not us. Because they already know what we're wearing, what our faces look like. So we sit down, and someone says, oh my God, look at that guy. He looks just like X person, like a celebrity or a family member. So I'm like, how the fuck did you have time to come up with that? I was busy trying not to step on something or bump into someone on the way to the table,
Yeah.
and you've already like looked at other people and in your brain made a connection to say possibly what you might think it's a joke at the table, like, oh, that
Yeah.
guy totally looked like Eddie Murphy just because he's black, haha. Like, how the fuck does that? What? I just don't get it, man. People just too much time for things that just don't matter. I just don't understand, man.
I
I'm a
feel
simple
like
man.
I feel like you're saying like you don't really notice what country someone's from or something, like it doesn't cross your mind. I feel like
Right.
I don't notice it so much that it's like some sort of mental issue. Like I'm like, wait, oh shit, that guy's like Asian? Holy crap, how did I not see this? Like, what the hell is wrong with me?
Right.
Like okay, this is too far. Like there's you know
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Like
I
it could
might
actually
not
be a problem.
I probably should be paying more attention because might not even recognize him in 2 minutes. Like if I don't even know what race he is by now. We've been talking for half an hour. Like
Yeah. I mean, it's like totally the opposite, right?
yeah.
It's just so bizarre to be like surrounded by it. And the funny
Mm.
part is that when I'm not with my family members, like when I'm with my family members, I'm always like, oh my god, please stop, please don't
Uh-huh.
do this, right? When I go hang out with other people, I pick up some traits of these things that they do, but of course
Mm.
I don't. I'm not low key racist, so I don't do that kind of thing. But I
Yeah.
might pick up on something like, "Hey, do you see that guy's hat? It's awesome." I'm like,
Mm.
"Why did I? What? What just happened? I wasn't supposed to be looking at that guy's hat. When did I do that?
No, it's
It's
happening
like,
to me.
I mean, I've noticed that, and I've said like, "Oh my god, I'm actually doing what my family does, but in a non-racist way." So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird, that I feel that it's just, but it's like, yeah, you're right. If you're talking to someone and they happen to look Asian, they may not be. If they're
Mm-hmm.
born in the U.S., they're American.
Yeah.
Even though they might have like Asian families or whatever,
Yeah.
there's really nowhere to tell unless someone, or like a part of that defines them. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm of whatever heritage, so they might follow certain traditions or rules.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows? If they don't mention it, doesn't it shouldn't even be a fact or a matter or any, just like beliefs, politics, religion, right? If it doesn't come up in conversation, then how do you know?
Yep. It doesn't even. It's not even relevant. So who
Yeah,
cares?
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just such an easier way for like nowadays for people to just connect. It's like you could just talk about random shit for like 30 minutes and you're suddenly friends. People
Yeah.
back then they probably wouldn't just talk to a random person,
Probably
especially
not.
if like, and like it's just
I
I don't
mean,
know
never
what it
mind. Like
is.
the internet is new and everything too. Like, I mean, I remember like pre-internet times where you didn't just talk to random people in other countries because it just wasn't even possible. Like,
Yeah,
how in the world, if you didn't have the internet, would you ever have a conversation with someone from like a faraway country? It just wouldn't happen.
yeah, it'd just be literally impossible.
Yeah, like what are you gonna just dial random numbers? Like,
Yeah, like dial up or whatever before
yeah,
the internet was actually.
like yeah, you would just never. I guess probably people who worked for business reasons would be the only people who would really, or someone who traveled, but
I
not
mean, yeah.
average people. You didn't just talk to people from other countries just normally.
You see, it's like
These
it's
days
easy
it's crazy. It's just
for us
constantly
to
talk to
like
everybody.
compare, right? It's like it's easy for us to compare it, but if you really think about it, it's like when I was born,
Mm-hmm.
it's like slaves weren't a thing when I was born, but when my parents were born, it was the norm. So it's like, okay, so maybe there's definitely the generational thing that a lot of customs die with age.
Yeah.
Like, oh, suddenly we all realize that that was wrong, right? Oh, of course, 100 years later we know it's wrong,
Yep.
but at the time it's like, shit, people just don't realize it, or you have to look at it from a new perspective. Technology, it's a big factor.
Yeah.
I just find it funny, I just listen to what my mom says and it just cracks me up. I'm like, how can you be so racist? But she says I'm not racist.
I'm
So
not
I don't
racist.
know.
I had a friend once said that he was like really big into China for whatever reason. And he said this totally straight face to me. He says, the problem with the Japanese is that they're all racists. And I'm like, you realize what you're saying, right? Like, it's
That's a
like
racist statement.
it's a racist statement complaining that someone else is racist. Like,
Someone's entire race is
is
racist.
racist. And like, I didn't call him out on it because I didn't even know how to wrap my head around like if someone just says that totally seriously, you're like, I don't even know how to get into the depths of like hypocrisy here. Like,
Yeah. I
I don't
mean,
know where
is
to. I don't
being
even know how to
stereotypical.
start with this.
Yeah. Is being a stereotypical racist? I think
Hmm.
in I mean, racism is supposed to be to put someone else's race down, right?
Yeah.
Compared to something else, right?
Yeah.
So being stereotypical isn't necessarily racism. However, a lot of the stereotypes are obviously bad.
Yeah. There's
They're
not.
not they're not always true.
People don't always talk about the good stereotypes.
Well, but even the good stereotypes can get, for people, for example, good at math. If you're that probably gets old a lot.
Yeah,
because
probably.
they might be, hey, I don't like math, so please stop or something,
Yeah.
or like, oh, you're so smart because, haha, please no.
Yeah.
So I don't know what a good stereotype would be. I
Hmm.
mean, unless it's like, oh yeah, all Japanese people are really nice, which is mostly true, I suppose.
Hmm.
So I mean, you can't really fuck that one up because everyone's nice. Yeah, of course, it's a
So
good
it'd be like,
stereotype.
wait, no, I wanted to be a jerk. Like, you don't tell me.
Hey,
You don't
I'm not
tell me how to
nice.
be. I'm not a nice person. What are
Screw you and your
screw you
stereotypes.
trying to say I'm a nice person?
It's pretty hard to be, or I mean, I guess stereotypes and racism go a little bit hand in hand, but there's some exceptions, of course. But
Hmm.
yeah, you're right. I mean, saying that all Japanese are racist is a stereotype,
I
but
almost
also
laughed aloud. I was like, it was all I could do to not just burst out laughing and just talk about something else because, yeah,
it's pretty slash ridiculous, obviously.
yeah.
Hey man,
Cool.
that's all I had for that Christmas episode.
Cool.
So
Well,
tell
everyone,
your family that you love them,
and Merry Christmas
and next week
or
we eat
Happy
firecrackers.
Holidays or whatever.
Dude,
Have
okay, now we have to talk about that, obviously.
Okay, next episode. Next episode, we will talk about
Yeah,
how you
next
should
next week we
properly
eat
give someone
firecrackers.
holiday cheer.